Hello everyone and welcome to Old Coins TV channel. If you love exploring the world of coins, their history, value, and rare discoveries, you've come to the right place. Here, we'll share exciting information about coins from around the world, from ancient treasures to modern currency. So, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to never miss our latest videos. If you've ever come across a 2009 Canadian 5-cent coin and thought it was just spare change, you might want to take a closer look, because hidden within what seems like an ordinary coin could be a fascinating piece of history that collectors around the world are actively searching for, especially when we talk about the 2009 Canada 5 cents in very fine condition without a clear mint mark. A coin that reflects not only the craftsmanship of the Royal Canadian Mint but also the subtle variations that can significantly increase its value over time. And while many people casually spend these coins without a second thought, experienced collectors know that factors such as condition, strike quality, luster, and even tiny production differences can turn a common coin into a desirable collectible worth far more than its face value, sometimes reaching into the range of hundreds and even thousands of dollars depending on rarity and preservation. And what makes the 2009 issue particularly interesting is its continuation of the iconic beaver design, a symbol deeply rooted in Canadian identity, originally introduced in 1937 and still admired today for its simplicity and cultural significance. But beyond the design itself, collectors pay close attention to the coin's surface details, including the sharpness of the beaver's fur, the clarity of the water lines, and the crispness of the lettering, all of which play a major role in determining whether a coin can be classified as very fine or higher. And in the world of numismatics, even the smallest imperfection can mean the difference between a coin being worth just a few rupees or several $100s. Which is why enthusiasts carefully examine each piece under magnification, searching for errors such as die cracks, off-center strikes, or unusual finishes that might indicate a rare variety. And while the 2009 Canadian nickel was produced in large numbers, making most examples quite common, there are still exceptional specimens that stand out due to their superior condition or unique characteristics. And these are the ones that attract serious buyers at auctions and online marketplaces, where competition can drive prices upward, sometimes surprising new collectors who never imagined that such a small coin could carry so much value. And it's also important to understand that the term, no mint mark, in Canadian coins doesn't always mean rarity in the same way it might in other countries, since many Canadian coins simply do not display a mint mark at all. Yet subtle variations in production batches can still create collectible differences, especially when combined with high-grade preservation, and this is why storing coins properly, away from moisture, fingerprints, and scratches, is essential for anyone hoping to build a valuable collection over time, because once a coin's surface is damaged, its potential value can drop dramatically, and as more people around the world become interested in coin collecting, driven by online communities and viral videos showcasing rare finds, the demand for well-preserved coins like the 2009 Canadian 5 cents continues to grow, making it an exciting entry point for beginners who want to start exploring the hobby without needing a huge investment up front, and at the same time offering experienced collectors the thrill of hunting for that one perfect specimen that completes their collection. So the next time you check your pocket change, remember that what looks ordinary today could be a hidden treasure tomorrow, and with a bit of knowledge, patience, and attention to detail, you might just discover that a simple 5-cent coin holds a story and a value far greater than you ever expected. As we dive even deeper into the world of the 2009 Canadian 5-cent coin, it becomes clear that the true value of this piece is not just defined by its metal composition or face value, but by the story it tells and the journey it has taken from the moment it was struck at the Royal Canadian Mint to the present day, passing through countless hands, pockets, and transactions, each step adding a layer of history that collectors find incredibly appealing. And when we focus specifically on coins graded in very fine condition, we begin to understand why these pieces stand out, because they retain a significant amount of their original detail while still showing light wear that proves they were part of real circulation, giving them both authenticity and character. And this balance between preservation and use is something that many collectors actually prefer, as it reflects a coin that has lived a life rather than remaining untouched in a vault, and yet still holds enough visual sharpness to highlight the iconic beaver design, the clean lettering, and the subtle textures that define Canadian coinage. And beyond condition, another fascinating aspect is the metal composition itself, as Canadian nickels have undergone changes over the decades, with earlier versions containing higher nickel content and later ones incorporating different alloys. And while the 2009 version does not stand out dramatically in terms of composition alone, its place within this evolving timeline adds to its collectible appeal, especially for those who aim to build complete year-by-year collections. And what truly elevates certain examples of this coin into the higher value range is the presence of minor but important variations, such as differences in strike pressure, slight misalignments, or surface anomalies that may not be immediately visible to the untrained eye, but once identified, can significantly increase interest among specialized collectors who are always searching for unique pieces that others might overlook. And in today's digital age, platforms like eBay and Etsy have made it easier than ever for collectors to buy and sell coins, creating a global marketplace where even a single well-preserved 2009 Canadian 5-cent coin can attract attention from buyers across different countries. And this increased accessibility has also led to a rise in awareness, meaning that more people are checking their change, learning about grading systems, and becoming part of a growing community that values history, detail, and rarity in everyday objects. And while it is important to stay realistic about prices, since not every coin will be worth hundreds or thousands, there are always exceptions that prove the rule, especially when a coin is found in near-perfect condition or displays an unusual characteristic that sets it apart. And this element of possibility is what keeps the hobby exciting, encouraging both beginners and experienced collectors to continue searching, studying, and preserving coins with care, because at any moment, an overlooked piece could turn out to be a small but meaningful treasure, connecting the past with the present in a way that few other collectibles can achieve. Continuing further into the deeper layers of collecting the 2009 Canadian 5-cent coin, one of the most overlooked yet critically important aspects is the grading system itself, because without understanding how coins are evaluated, it becomes almost impossible to accurately judge whether a specific piece truly falls into the very fine category or if it might even qualify for a higher grade that could dramatically increase its desirability. And professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC have established strict standards that collectors around the world rely on, where even the slightest wear on the highest points of the design, such as the beaver's back or the fine around the water, can influence the final grade. And this is why experienced collectors often invest in magnifying tools and proper lighting to inspect coins in detail, carefully analyzing every line, curve, and surface mark before making a decision. And beyond grading, another factor that can quietly elevate the value of a 2009 Canadian nickel is its eye appeal, a term used to describe how visually attractive a coin appears at first glance, because sometimes a coin with the same technical grade as another can sell for a higher price simply because it has better, cleaner surfaces, or a more balanced strike, making it stand out in a collection or auction listing. And speaking of auctions, the role of online communities and marketplaces cannot be ignored, as collectors frequently gather on platforms like Reddit and Facebook to share discoveries, compare coins, and discuss potential values, which has created a dynamic environment where information spreads quickly and even minor varieties can gain sudden popularity if highlighted by the right audience. And this social aspect of coin collecting adds an entirely new dimension to what was once considered a quiet, solitary hobby, turning it into a global conversation where a coin found in Pakistan, Canada, or anywhere else can instantly become part of a wider discussion. And for the 2009 Canadian 5-cent coin specifically, this means that its value is not fixed but constantly influenced by collector interest, market trends, and the availability of high-quality examples. And while most circulated coins will remain modest in value, those that combine strong, minimal wear, and clean surfaces can sometimes achieve surprising prices, especially when presented well with clear images and accurate descriptions. And this is why presentation has become so important in the modern collecting world, as sellers who take the time to properly photograph and describe their coins often attract more serious buyers. And ultimately, what makes the journey of collecting this particular coin so engaging is the combination of history, detail, and opportunity, because even though it may not be among the rarest coins ever produced, it still offers a genuine chance for collectors to learn, explore, and potentially profit, all while holding a small but meaningful piece of Canadian heritage in their hands, reminding us that value is not always about rarity alone, but about knowledge, timing, and the ability to recognize something special where others see only ordinary change.